January 2018, had happened, but it wasn't clear how over it was yet. Looking at the screen, my head was absolutely splitting in a headache from hours of watching crypto YouTube videos after an already long day of work from my primary job. My wife was giving me that look. If you're married, you know the look. The look like, why are you still looking at crypto stuff? Come join us. Now, I was still very new to crypto and did not have much figured out yet, but spent every waking hour I could watching crypto videos till my head hurt every day, trying to figure out which projects might make it versus those that might fail. My wife, not yet a believer, but still for a while longer, she was trying to be a supporter. There in the background, and I see a video by one of my favorite YouTubers, a young Russian kid in his 20s living in London. His Russian British accent, quite fun, but he was also good at weeding past the bullshit on new projects, because Russians seem to be good at that kind of thing. Now, two guests named Dan and Dave were there to talk about their new project where they wanted to make collecting digital. There was no MetaMask at the time. Remember, these were some pretty early days back in 2018. The ETH chain's smart contracts had only been working for a short time. You could see that these founders were passionate about what they were doing, and the task seemed huge for them to make digital collectibles a thing. With my head already hurting, it was difficult to imagine or even picture what these digital collectibles might look like. But their idea felt like a breath of fresh air filling your lungs. I thought to myself, I don't know if this project is too early to really catch on, but if they can make it catch on, this is a really good idea. So we are now 7 years down that journey from then. That project, Ecomi, launched their Veve app back in 2020. In 2021, saw the Omi token going up 3,000x from the bear market lows. And today, have so many more of the major licenses and brands than their competitors, it seems unfathomable that another major platform could even catch up. Licenses I couldn't have even imagined back in 2018 have signed with Veve and are now routinely taken for granted by those of us who have been using the Veve app since 2021. However, the bear market has been disastrously brutal. The Omi token's price is at punishingly low levels, like milk spilt on a concrete kind of low. Now, sentiment towards the Omi token may be higher than the lows of a month or two back, but still so low an ant couldn't even get under it. And most holding Omi have an aching pit of worry in their stomach that it will never, ever be worth much. So many here also get that nervous twinge in your gut, like trying to walk on the edge of a skyscraper while looking down, knowing that it would be death to fall, as you worry about whether your collectibles might not be worth anything. But we justify buying more because collectibles are fun. Now, that is a snapshot of where we are today. You can feel it, can't you? But a little sneak peek into the future, and everything is very different. Now, someday soon, probably even closer than you think, you wake up early, not tired, and waking not because of your alarm. The air feels so crisp and clean. You slept so well. Your insides are buzzing with excitement and anticipation like a kid on Christmas morning. You see, you've been waking up every day for the past few weeks, not because you have to, but because of the rush of adrenaline. You see, you were right. Crypto's market goes in cycles, and what goes way down that survives and has value goes massively up. You check your Omi values, you check your vault values. To your amazement, they're up another 50% from the previous day and up 7x on the week. You turn on YouTube to endless stories about crypto hitting the mainstream media. Your friends who told you how stupid you were are asking how to buy a Todd McFarlane Batman and asking for advice on what else they should be buying in the Veve app. You're feeling a rush of gratitude coursing through your veins and excitement for life that most rarely get to experience in their lives. And everything seems to taste better as the dopamine hits seem endless. Now, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, most want to know, when do we reach that light? I wish I knew exactly when, but my guess is second quarter of next year, as the Federal Reserve's monetary policy drops interest rates by a whole lot more. Now, you may be asking, but Rain, can you guarantee it will play out this way? Well, I wish I could, but in life there are no guarantees. We don't even have a guarantee that the world doesn't end tomorrow. We just have probabilities. Trains sometimes derail, sometimes tunnels collapse before you reach the end. But what I can say is the odds are really, really good, and I like them. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel and our family. Now, today is a special Homies, my homie edition, usually joined by my co-hosts. Both of them could not make it today, so today you get me. Now, a little bit about me. I grew up poor in life. Actually, too poor for the brand name Kool-Aid. My mom, who would go to the commissary once a month to buy our food because it's a little bit cheaper there, would buy us 2 Flavor Aid packs that had to last the whole month, and they had 7 kids. Now, I realized money was important because it allowed us options in life, and as a poor little kid, didn't have a lot of those options. Now, after a few months of being in crypto, when I started 8 years ago, I recognized that this was the most amazing, massive potential for the financial gains that will change your life completely. And this I'd been waiting for, this kind of chance my whole life. Now, after 8 years, I know that crypto can and will change your finances and your life, but only if you're doing it right. I learned 95% of people in crypto don't make meaningful money or flat out lose money, and only 5% of crypto investors make life-changing gains that take them into the lifestyle we all dreamed about as kids. So when I was new, I focused 100% of everything on figuring out what those 5% did and then put it into practice myself. By 2021, using these principles, I was able to fire my day job, move to the city I wanted, and put myself in position to never have to work again if I didn't want to. These principles will do the same for you. Now, today my co-hosts aren't able to join us, but yes, we will go. Randy is sick. Doctor of Stuff has a family commitment. Perhaps Randy is sick because one of his girlfriends is the culprit. Now, I plan to keep today short, but if you're very interactive, sharing with me your thoughts, we will keep going. So really the big question on everyone's mind is, when bull run? Well, Bitcoin is already halfway through its run. But what you're really asking is, when altcoin run? Today, let me show you why that hasn't happened yet. First, let's look at something critical. Hopefully, you've been tuning into my Wednesday shows with Paul from DevvExchange. While everyone has been worried that this bull run is over, Paul has pointed out that there is a huge component missing from this being the topping pattern that would signal that the crypto market is headed back into a bear market. So let me show this. This is on CoinMarketCap, the Fear and Greed Index. So the Fear and Greed Index is way low during this savage pullback. Now, when it is the real top, the Fear and Greed Index is going to be much higher than this. When things got really, really low here, you saw fear go all the way to 10 on the Fear and Greed Index. So up here in these numbers is extreme greed. Way down here is extreme fear. Note that when the bull run is really over, what happens is a lot of people are still bullish, thinking this is just a pullback. And so historically, the fear is it doesn't mean it doesn't break into the fear, but it's way, way higher than 10 or even 22 where we are today. And so that's a signal that this isn't the real top. This is still people not in disbelief that the market is going higher. And I'll show you another thing showing why this is not the top yet. Take a look at this chart. Now, this bull run has played out really, really interesting. And this explains why it's played out so interesting. Now, we often talk about a 4-year cycle. But what causes the 4-year cycle? Now, half of what causes the 4-year cycle has been the Bitcoin halving. And the year after the Bitcoin halving, the miners run out of their saved Bitcoin that they were saving to help float, because after the Bitcoin halving, the amount that they make from mining goes down tremendously. They have to work twice as hard just for the same income, or they would have to have at least twice the computing power just to make the same income as what they were making before. And so usually they have stored up some Bitcoin and they sell that off to pay for electricity and their overhead for the next year. But about a year later, everybody runs out of their Bitcoin storage. And this actually drives the Bitcoin's price higher. And so that's why in the first bull run of 2013, well, the first halving was in 2012, and then another one in 2016, followed by Bitcoin peaking in December 2017. Then you had the next halving happen in 2020 with Bitcoin peaking in March of 2021 and then a little bit higher in October of 2021. And I want to show you something really interesting, because it wasn't clear till this cycle how important a secondary factor was. Coinciding with the altcoin season run, or even the bull run, was an election year. And in election years, historically, interest rates have come down tremendously, increasing the M2 growth. Now, if you look at this, this is M2 growth. And I particularly want to look at 2017 and 2021, because that's where the major halvings, or excuse me, the halvings happen, but also altcoin seasons happen. Now, prior to here, there weren't a lot of altcoins. Altcoins really started coming out in 2015 through 2017. And so one of the critical components that hasn't really happened yet is this huge M2 growth. And you see M2 growth peaking here in February 2018. So as it grew here, you see Bitcoin peaked. That's this black line here. Bitcoin peaked here with then this huge uptrend here. Altcoins also peaking in January of 2018. Notice in the 2021 run, because things were so bad, altcoins were the... Hold on. My wife is totally distracting me. Thank you, baby. Bye. Love you. Okay, back on track here. We have money growth growing like crazy right here. This is August 17, 2020, going into October, November, December, peaking when? Right here in March of 2021. With that early run of 2021 and the initial peak happening in March. There was a pullback and then a secondary increase or push, but most of the run happened quite early. And that's because of the money growth here with most altcoins, except for some gaming altcoins and some metaverse altcoins, having their peak here in March with this M2 money supply. Now, look at the money supply growth here. We haven't had most of it. And why have we not had most of it? Because interest rates have stayed really, really high under Chairman Jerome Powell. Now, he is out in May, if not sooner. And Trump is putting a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve to bring interest rates down, which is going to cause this green area to go up way higher than it is here. And so a lot of people are saying the Bitcoin run is over, no altcoin run. But the reason it hasn't happened yet, look how low this money supply growth is. That's why the alt season has not happened yet and still is here to come. Yes, Raxel Rain. All right. Catching up on the comments. Ben Korea says, good morning, boys. Mikey says, I love the facetiousness of the video title. Y'all think Omi does 100x in the next year? From the bottoms, my guess is it does 100x or more. Bill Gardner in the house, the Arcturus, Randy, Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening. 45 million Omi was burned in November. We should do 60 million this month. Thinking out loud, could VV incorporate collegiate and professional sports teams, logos, jerseys, NFTs, stadium seats? Just an idea. That they could, especially the jerseys would be really easy. Sports teams logos, easy as well. Like the card idea, I would love to see Veve get into, but I don't think cards were really on David's radar until just like 4 or 5 months ago. Let's go, Rain. You're a legend. Thank you, Penguin. All right. Share with me what's on your mind. While you're thinking about that, let me show you something else. So here is the peak of Bitcoin. And, oh, whoa, wow. What I want to do is this. I forget how to use this tool. Come on. Okay, so this has, between that peak to the next one is 1,463 days. Let's see. This had 125 days between it. And we're not even done with this one yet. So we're definitely seeing a shortened cycle here, but this one's going to be an elongated cycle. Now, a lot of people are saying Bitcoin's bull run is over. And notice this pattern, right? Down and up, down and then up. This peak happened a little bit early, which I think because it happened so early, it didn't go as high as it could have. Now look at this, down and then up, but it really hasn't had the parabolic move yet. See how it goes like this, then there's this parabolic rise like this, and then parabolic rise. We're still in the early stages, no parabolic rise yet. That is coming. The Arcturus, did you see that the secretware penny black floors keep rising? Almost doubled last week at 950 now. Only 150 exist, Grail. I agree. It is going to be a Grail, is my guess. So now let's talk about VV. Like a lot of my specialty is on altcoins, and you know, I put way more of my money into Omi than VV Collectibles, and I don't track the VV Collectibles as close as Randy and Doc do. Although there's some I like. And we could talk about that if you all want, what I like within it and what I think is underpriced. But I'll be giving away my secrets because I still buy these. So I'll be pumping things that I like on myself, which always sucks. But that is the bad thing about having a microphone is when you're just sharing with people what you like was undervalued, well, they buy it too. And so some people think I have a YouTube channel to pump my own bags. No, I do have my own YouTube channel because I was already doing the research and I thought if we could create a family of people that more would make it. Secondly, it's so that if we got big enough, I could bring on many of the CEOs to do interviews to ask them questions so I could do better research. So you want my VV secrets? All right. Well, let's do it then. So some of my VV secrets, I know people will laugh, but I think Darth Vader is one of the total undervalued things here. We just want the collectibles. Specifically, I don't know how these ones are going to do. Like, I think they'll do well. Just don't have anything historical to look at on these. But let's see. The secret rare starting price is is not returning a value. All right. Well, that was not as fun as we would have liked. I was just trying to check the price. But one of my favorites is both the commons and these ultra rares. And it looks like the ultra rare you can still get for 220 gems, which is a pretty good price. I paid 500 a while back for some. What did they initially go at? Let's see. What were they initially sold at? Oh, it was a blind box. I think you had to get lucky to get it. But what was the initial blind box choice? Details. Now, 80 bucks. Okay. Shoot. If we go back here, Darth Vader, let's look at the commons because I like the commons the most as far as bang for your buck. You can buy more commons and it allows you to be able to take profits. So they've gone up. They were at 20. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It seems like they hit 20 for a while, but they're at 36 bucks, which is still a deal. What I like about the commons is you can buy multiples. So say you can buy 8 commons versus one of the ultra rares. It just allows you to take profits on the way up and still keep at least one of the collectibles, if not more. Right. More questions coming in. Also picked up more Omi this week. I love it. They have to get Lord of the Rings IP on VV. I can't be the only one who would nerdgasm out over that. Lord of the Rings would be fun IP. I love that series. Those movies. Now, when will they remove KYC for trading on VV and Stacker? I don't have any inside info on that. I don't know. I can't wait for Kraken listing. Do you expect to see any token price activity from the listing? We can take a look at the charts and I'll share with you my thoughts. I was looking at that earlier today. Look, Kraken listing, unless it's bringing in new users who haven't been previously owning Omi, I don't know that the price is ready to reverse yet. We'll see how this plays out. This could indicate a reversal, but this was the Kraken listing being announced. This was, I forget what led into this. And it's coming back down. And a lot of people are still scared about altcoins. I don't know that digital collectibles are fully ready to run yet. I think a lot of the major run comes as the M2 global supply happens, and that's not going to come till interest rates come down a bunch. And Jerome Powell seems to be reluctantly lowering interest rates, not aggressively lowering interest rates. So it may still be a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Omi continues to be in a really amazing price range for a while. Now, maybe the lows are already in. This price was almost too good to believe. Still, this is an incredible price. but I think it goes a little bit lower at least from here, if not lower. I don't know if it'll hit those lows again. It was almost quadruple zeros, which is amazing. Friend of mine is up to 1 billion OMI, which is awesome. He used that pullback to really scoop up some massive bags and lower his dollar cost average. That was an absolutely great pickup. Is there a situation in the future where too much OMI is burned and destroys the project? No. And the reason is as OMI's price goes up, they can just less OMI will get burned as the price goes up. And so say OMI is worth $1, far less OMI is going to get burned because less OMI is going to be needed to buy things. So just less gets burned. And so as OMI increases in price, less and less is burned as far as number of OMI tokens. And like Bitcoin, you could always use a fraction of an OMI. If there is a world where OMI goes to $1,000, you could have fractional OMI, right? So 0.1 OMI could buy you a collectible, or 0.01 or 0.001 OMI. So I like where the token supply is at, but because there's fractional OMI, I don't see a world where there's too many OMI burned. Cool. Any other thoughts? Any other questions? What's on your mind? If not, we can wrap up for the evening. I think you see OMI's price here. CoinGecko is really where you see it well. And a lot of people just get worried. Now, realize this is just a principle of investment, that the pendulum swings each way. And when things swing too high, they then usually swing too low. And that's one of the things I like about crypto, is these massive pendulum swing too far each way. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. So here, OMI during the bear market was really, really low. And it was a worry whether Ecomi would survive. They launched the Veve app and it didn't get a lot of traction at first. And so the Veve app was launched and the price was just absolutely still savage on OMI. And then it swung 3,000x to the upside. And so it's pulled back severely. Now, not reaching these lows, I think that's 000 4 zeros, quadruple 037. So even if we hit quadruple zeros, we would still be about 3x from that price. And it did even get lower during the bear market than that. So what I like about the price being so cheap, or even what it recently reached, where it almost hit quadruple zeros, is that when you buy that low, that's where your safety is. So what a lot of people don't realize about investment is that buying low is what provides your safety. So a lot of people want to wait till things are running quite a bit, so they feel safe buying something that's gone up 50x. That isn't safe at all. Buying something that's down 99% from its previous bull market highs, that's much, much safer as long as the project survives till the next bull run. But people don't feel safe buying then, but that's when it is actually way safer. They feel safer when it's going 50x up because of this thing called recency bias, that we feel like what has been happening is what's going to continue to happen. So if something's gone 50x up, some people are buying expecting that somehow it's going to do another 50x. At that point, it's not going to happen. If they're lucky, it'll go 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10x from there. Another 50x is almost mathematically impossible, at least in that run. So they're buying high and hoping it goes higher, and that works out so poorly for them. Troy says, nice, Rain, keeping the streak alive. You're the man. Well, thank you. A big ad like in the Super Bowl ad or a game ad or a uniform to give Omi a super, or on a uniform to give Omi a super pump. When crypto is going wild, then maybe something like that. If they spent the whatever 10 million it would cost to do that now, it would just be $10 million gone. And $10 million pays for the team to exist for a very long time. And so that kind of risk, I'd prefer they didn't make. Now, say it's Super Bowl and everything is going crazy in crypto and they're just trying to stand out. That would be a good amplifier to a run that's already happening. Remember, most people will buy when it's already gone up 50x. So it's hard to kick off a run with something like a Super Bowl ad. But if the run is already up 50x and then you run a Super Bowl ad, you can amplify the kind of gains that are there. But a Super Bowl ad isn't going to necessarily kick off the run. Now, most people, when they buy, it's because their friends already made significant money on it, and their friends have already told them about it a whole bunch, and they didn't listen, and now it's significantly up, and they're getting FOMO. You're going to see that this bull run. So a Super Bowl ad wouldn't kick off the run. It would just augment a run that's already happening. Is it possible that other projects will start to use Omi as their utility token instead of issuing their own? Built-in fan base already exists. Maybe small independent projects. Now, a lot of the reasons why projects need to launch their own token is that's their fundraising mechanism to really get started. So a project that has one or two founders and really low overhead could tap into Omi's existing fan base by not launching their own token, but using Omi. But realize they're going to have to self-fund or friends and family or somehow fund a different way to really get that rolling. My Omi holdings will potentiate soon. Potentiate. I haven't heard that word. I like it though. I always feel calmer hearing Crypto Rain's voice. Thank you, Troy. We hit a major crisis and recession soon. Don't you think a lot of these coins will go much lower for a few years before a big run up? Remember, a major crisis and recession are going to bring interest rates down more faster. And that's really all we're waiting for. 2013 crypto bull run, the economy stopped in 2013. The economy was turning around in 2017, but it had been really just limping along at 2% growth for forever, or under 2% growth. And so like 2017, the economy started going a little bit, but just starting to go. And so 2021, the economy had been going quite well, but then everything was shut down. Half the factories, half the businesses, if not more, were shut down. And money was printed like crazy and put into the system, but there was so much inflation because there was way more dollars chasing fewer goods because production capacity was cut by at least 50%, if not more. How did I do on the Michelangelo drop, Jay? I didn't participate in it. I just mostly buy things after the drop. I was considering this one because I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a lot, but I thought, I'm just going to wait till a month or two down the road when there's some new shiny object and see where that floor goes to pick up one. Right. A lot of where my focus is, let me show you. I like in the comics section, or even, what is it? If I go to home, I haven't done this in just a little bit. Go to home, I go to comics, and I look at ones that recently released. Where is it? Bestsellers. I want ones that Does this not show it anymore? It's been a few months since I went through, and you could see things that had released from the home screen, like drops. See all. What I'd do is I would look at the ones that were on sale for 30 days, but the 30 days were past. So go way down here to something like New Avengers. And I especially like issue number ones. So Venom issue number 1, things that were on sale for 30 days. Let's see if this one would qualify. So it's not done yet because this hasn't been 30 days. And I would wait till after 30 days and I would see how many burned. So this one doesn't burn till that date. Let's see how many are sold. Editions in circulation. So most of these have sold, if not all of them. So there'll probably be 0 burned editions. No, there's quite a bit left. 931 of these, 90 left of the secret rare. So I would just look at that. Let's see. Let's find one that it is done. Okay, their 30 days has passed, but I wanted something that I particularly like the issue number ones. So let's see if we can find one. We go. This is one that is Disney or Star Wars, so they're available for 30 days and then they burn them. Editions, and let's see burn details. How many burned editions? 957. So there ended up being, out of the 3,000 editions that they planned, only 2,000 made it into. And look, you could have paid $7 for it, or now you can buy this for $1.78 for common. Let's see, I don't remember how many gems I have. But this is the kind of stuff I look for. And usually I'll buy a couple of them. Oh, shoot. Guys, I'm sorry. I didn't have the tab shared. You were looking at the wrong screen from what I was doing. That's my fault. Sorry. Let's see. Well, so back to what I was looking at. So I go to home. Sorry about that, everyone. I go down to drops. I go to see all. And then I scroll down and I'm looking for ones over 30 days ago that are Disney or Marvel or Star Wars, so that the comics are available for just 30 days before they're burned. This is a Fantastic Four. I don't know who's on it, but let's just look at the details here. We want to look at how many were burned versus how many are in circulation. Look at this. Editions in circulation, 1160. Now 1,579 were burned. So literally out of the 3,000 anticipated, 1160 sold. There were some withheld. So there's about 1,400 out there total. Now, is this a very good one? I don't know. Comics and Crypto would know. But the floor price is $259. And some of it, you don't have to make money just on Grail. Sometimes it's just the floor on this is at this price now, but in the future, because it's so limited, is money really pours in. And it is a Fantastic Four, which is a really, really good comic series. The floors usually go up by quite a bit. So let's look at these one of ones. On some of these are really, really cool. These artworks. Avengers issues number 0. Well, that's strange. Okay. Deadpool joins the Avengers. Kick off to an all-new Avengers line. Let's check out these details. Wow. Yes. Look at this. Burned editions. This has under 1,000. Dang it, that floor price is quite high, but probably because so few are listed. Oh my gosh, so few are listed. But the cheapest one here is the rare, actually. That secret rare is really, really cool. Or the ultra rare version of it. Yeah. This one's hard to pick up, but this one looks like a good one. Not at those prices, except for the rare. And there's no secret rares that are up for sale right now. But that's some of what I do when I'm buying the collectibles. That's what I look for. Cool. Any other questions, everyone? Well, it's a little bit quieter today without Doc and Randy here. I love those guys. Randy, one of the things I love about him is he's got great instincts. Do you realize how rare his background is? Most people in investing are bad before they're good. And Randy, really his first investments were Pokemon cards, but he could feel the momentum really heading towards Pokemon cards, and he made a legendary purchase. At the time, it was the highest Pokemon sale ever, and he paid $80,000 for a card, a graded version of it. There were so few of them. I think you had to win a Pokemon tournament in Japan to get that card. And so we bought it and later flipped it for $200 and something thousand, a legendary flip. And then he rolled that into Tesla when Tesla had gone up some, but many people were saying Tesla was massively overpriced versus what its earnings were. And Randy saw something different. And he bought Tesla. And then that year, Tesla stock 7x'd. So he rolled a lot of his gains into Omi's token. And now it's still the bear market for Omi's token. So a lot of people have said, oh my gosh, you lost all your money. This trade isn't over yet. Yes, Omi is down considerably from its 2021 highs, but we haven't hit the altcoin bull run yet. And that is coming. And I showed you the evidence of why it's still coming. And it's going to be big this coming year. Exciting times. All right, with no further questions, well, if I see half of you joined us in the last little bit, so you'll have to rewind it and catch the rest of it. This, I've got at the end, I play on my own shows, this Rainmaker rap. This is, I wrote the words to this because learning to invest takes some skill, and it's learning to hardwire ourselves to do things differently than what our emotions tell us to do. So we make decisions not from FOMO, but from research, usually buying when it's quite scary to buy. Why? Because the principle in making money in any investment is buy low, sell high. When prices are low, that is when it's the scariest to buy. Just like I shared at the beginning, how sentiment on Omi is so scary and it feels so scary to buy it. That's usually when the very best buys are. And that's why most people can't pull the trigger there. And that's why most people don't become rich in crypto. Omi is one of my favorite picks for this bear market. And so I'm a big fan and own lots and lots of Omi myself. But this wrap is just helping rewire people's brains to understand when to buy low in just a fun way to enjoy it. So enjoy. See you soon.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit, buy before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always made the time in mind. I take the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, to leave it a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Sticking out this road, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go of the hate, say the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.